All right, how's it going, YouTube? I'm gonna go over how to fix the headlights on a Gixxer. So this really applies for any Gixxer as far as I'm concerned, because you're basically dealing with electricity. All right, so first things first, check your fuses. It's gonna be these two fuses right here. If these are good, then move on to your light bulb. Now these two are empty because those are just the spare fuse holders, so don't worry about that. So like I was saying, you want to next check your bulbs. You actually just pull this off. Just pull that off. Pull off this rubber boot. There's like a little bar that snaps out that holds your bulb. You pull that out. Now if that filament, the little wire inside, if that wire inside is not broken, then you have another issue. Okay, here's the important part. The thing about Gixxers is that what you're going to find is you want to check these connections. You're dealing with a lot of heat, and with that being said, you're going from a straight wire to a connector, and because you're not dealing with a straight wire, once it's inside of that connector, a lot of heat is generated in this area. So I'm going to refer to the book. I do have the manual. It says 1000. It doesn't matter if you have a 600, a 750, or a 1000. It's all the same. We're dealing with electricity. All right, turn this around. So what I have highlighted in yellow is one of the wires that connects to your headlight, and then there's a black and white wire as well as a white wire, and these are all connecting to your headlight. So as I was saying, you know, you have your straight wires, and then it makes its way to your connector. That's a connector, and then that's also a connector. You want to check your connectors first, because typically what happens is a lot of heat is dissipated within those connectors. So what ends up happening is it overheats and it kind of blackens, and once it blackens, the connectors aren't getting a good clean metal on metal connection. So anyway, you want to check your yellow wire, your black and white wire, and then your white wire. You want to check those three wires inside of your three areas of your connectors. You'll see the main two, but what you'll also notice is that in this connector, the yellow white wire comes in, it leaves a connector, and then it comes back out origin red. It doesn't do anything, it just loops. But like I said, anyway, check those connectors. All right, so unfortunately, I've had this problem before, and I actually had that issue with one of my black and white wires. This wire was actually inside of this connector, and what I did was I just pulled the wire out of both sides of the male and the female end connector, and then I used a butt weld to join the wires back together. This is a good option, but what I'm actually going to recommend you do this time is actually go to any auto parts store and get a fully insulated disconnect. The reason why you want the fully insulated disconnect is because you have the male and the female connectors inside. So that's a female, that's a male. If it says male or female, then you have to buy both packs, but at least this pack has both of them in one. So the issue I'm dealing with this time is, on my diagram, I showed you how there's a connector where the wire goes from yellow white, it goes inside the male female connector, and then it comes back out orange and red. So on this particular connector, I had to pull the two wires out. Now I'm going to take these two wires, I'm going to attach a connector on both sides and then put them together, and that'll fix the problem. If you're wondering what I was talking about in terms of when the connectors heat up, give me a second. So this is what it looks like inside of the connectors, and you'll see that one, the bottom second column, that connector heated up really bad inside of the male-female connector, and then it no longer made a clean metal on metal connection. So I had to take that one out and basically put one of these disconnects in. it still works the same. I also would recommend using these disconnects, because if you ever have to disconnect, let's say this entire upper assembly from the bike, you'd still be able to disconnect it without having to cut the wire. Anyway, hopefully that gives you enough detail. If you got any questions, just post it and I'll respond. I'm gonna take a step back on my bike. What I have here is just a full-on bike that I've done a little bit of work on several times. As you can see, it's polished and stuff like that. I've pretty much done all the work to this bike myself, including replacing the engine. So like I said, if you got any questions, just hit me up. I'd be more than willing to help you. My email address is fullysuited@gmail.com. Like I said, hit me up with your questions and I can go from there. All right, guys, have a great day.